Mackey Motors in Lake City is the place to find new and certified used vehicles, along with a knowledgeable and helpful sales staff. Find new roads at Mackey Motors in Lake City.
Back here on the Mackey Motors post-game show as South Central Calhoun falls in their season opener tonight, 60-46. And Coach, you knew coming in Storm Lake, a team that you've had their numbers over the years. Tonight, you knew coming in, they've got a really good pair of freshmen. This is a new Storm Lake team. What kinds of things were they doing that were wreaking havoc with your game plan coming into tonight?
It wasn't so much of what they were doing. It was more of our kids learning and trying to understand a little bit about what we're doing offensively and defensively. You lose three outstanding seniors from a last year team. A couple other girls decided that they were going to focus on some other things. So, we knew coming in preseason-wise, we were going to have a lot of youth, a lot of inexperience. But when you sit there and you look at the positive energy from our three senior captains, Riley, Kylie, and Sophie, the energy and trying to push those kids to the next level has been outstanding. And I think you saw it there in the first half. We fell down, couldn't score the ball. We didn't have a lot of rhythm and continuity in terms of our offense. Had some people in some wrong spots. And, then we struggled with missing some easy bunny layups. So a lot of nerves, a lot of new faces on the floor. Like I told the girls in the locker room right now, it's not about the first game, it's about our journey. So we got South Hamilton come up and we'll focus on where we need to improve and move forward that way.
What were some of the things you guys did in the game to, whether it was refocus or defensive and offensive adjustments, what were some of the things that you did tonight? Because there were times in that third quarter and then fourth quarter, you got back within 6. You had things going the right direction. What was prompting things to start to turn the tide for you guys?
Well, a lot of it is just trust on the floor. Camaraderie goes a long way in terms of a team. And you got Riley and Kyle on the floor. They've been playing together since they've been freshmen. They trust each other. They trust their abilities. But the other 3 or 4 that were on the floor with them, it's been limited in years past. So getting them to understand that how to build that trust, that relationship with those other 3 or 4 girls is huge and imperative of where we're going to go from a team standpoint. I think those 2 kind of just settled down and started to identify what we wanted to do offensively and got some other people involved. And then it was just the young kids understanding defensively. When you're playing a good team like Storm Lake with quality shooters, you've got to be able to rotate, recognize, and play with high energy level. And at different times, we just lost where shooters were at. And I thought our focus was kind of went by the wayside. So it's a great learning experience for our youth, and we'll continue to march forward.
You mentioned South Hamilton on Tuesday. You've got Thanksgiving break in there as well. What does the week and the weekend look like? Obviously, you get one game in before Thanksgiving. You kind of get out of rhythm, and then you get back to it. You got to work off the turkey a little bit, things like that. What's the week look like leading up to that South Hamilton game?
Well, we're going to come back tomorrow morning. We're going to practice. We're going to look at some film and see where we need to improve, what we can do a little bit differently, and how we're going to utilize our players. Right now it sounds like we might get one person back from injury, so that's going to help us out from a depth standpoint and a ball handling standpoint. And then we get Thanksgiving off. We'll come back on Friday, get a little practice in, try to start identifying what South Hamilton's going to do to us off last year, and then what they have coming back, because they're an outstanding guard-oriented team. And then the weekend we have some scrimmages that we're going to go take part in and see if we can improve, and then come back game prep Monday, and then kick off game 2 in Jewel Tuesday night.
Well, I will be there. I will see you guys. We'll have the game on Kick 106.7 once again. Coach, thanks for your time here on our postgame show.
Appreciate you guys having us.
That's Curt Batta, head coach of the South Central Calhoun Titans. They fall tonight 60-46. We'll get the mics switched over here, and we'll chat with Riley Batta tonight.
Upside down.
Oh, there you go. You can just hang on to that if you want. 25 points for you tonight. Obviously not the start to the season that you guys were hoping for. The sluggish start in that first quarter especially. Seemed like whatever you guys were trying on offense, just nothing went your way. It was, whether it was a 2-footer, a 5-footer, a 10-footer, a 20-footer, just nothing was going your way. What were they doing defensively compared to what you guys were trying to do offensively early on that led to you guys struggling right out of the chute?
I think it's just a lot different atmosphere than in practices that we have just coming out in the game. Just it's the team that starts off strong. So, I mean, we struggled shooting the first quarter, which really got us down in the beginning of the half. But, I mean, we just kept shooting, and then finally our shots started to fall in the second half. So it was just like a rough start, nerves coming out. I mean, we only had 2 returning starters and 3 others that had to step up and everything. So, yeah.
You fell down by double digits. You went into halftime trailing it by 15. In the fourth quarter, you got back within 6. At that point, you guys had to be feeling like, we've got the momentum. We've got a chance to close it even further. And then Dahan comes back in. She was dealing with some foul trouble. Comes back in, hits a dagger 3. They get a steal, another 3, and it just seemed like it took the wind out of your guys' sails. What was going on in that fourth quarter that allowed you guys to rally? And then what was the mindset like after those threes that she knocked down to put it back to double digits?
I thought our effort on the defensive end was a lot better in the second half. So defensive stops, we knew we had to get stops to get back on offense. They were obviously trying to run the clock down quite a bit, just their guards dribbling the ball out by the half-court line. So we knew we needed to ball pressure, so that helped getting defensive stops. And then just our inside-out game started going a little bit, just getting the ball in. We hit a couple threes down here too, so yeah. Then they went on their little scoring run, but our emotions kind of went down a little bit, but we just kept fighting and everything. Usually when a girl comes out and hits 7 threes versus us in the past, we used to give up and everything, and we didn't give up, which I'm really proud of that. So
it sounds like that's one of the takeaways that you guys will have tonight. You never gave up. It could have been easy to kind of mail it in the first half already when things weren't going your way. I think it was about a 12-0 lead before you guys finally scored. So that you guys were able to get it close again. Adjustment-wise, did you guys feel like you guys were able to make some changes throughout the game that kept you in it too?
I'd say yeah, just mostly with our defensive change and our inside out. Honestly, I think I blame myself a lot for that game because Kylie Sison was out there on an island pretty much by herself the whole game. I mean, they knew on press break who the ball was going to go to. It was going to go to Kylie. Inbound plays, it was going to go to Kylie. And I know, like, I'm the post player on the team, but I told her in practice before, like, I'd help her out with the ball. And honestly, I just kind of ran to the post every single time trying to get the position, and I just left her out there by herself. So I feel really bad about that. I mean, I talked to her in the hallway about it, and I was like, there's nothing, like, you could have done about any of that because, honestly, that's hard as a guard, trying to find openings, especially when she's trying to get the ball into me by herself and everything. So we just need maybe set some screens for people and everything to try to get her open a little bit, and, like, I just need to help her out more. We got to be there for each other the whole season pretty much, and just the confidence in our girls, like Sophie McKinney, if she can get going from 3-ball, our inside-out game is going to be great. Brenna McAllister, her backdoor cuts and her rebounding at times, offensive rebounds, and she puts them back. So if we can get those two going, I mean, it was just the first game, so I'm sure we'll get them going soon and it'll be a lot better.
Well, I appreciate your time. I want you to enjoy Thanksgiving. I will see you guys in Jewel coming up on Tuesday when you face South Hamilton, and we'll look for you guys to come out and be firing on all cylinders next Tuesday.
Thank you.
That's Riley Batta joining us here on our post-game show.